What is up, everybody? We are going to be going over a new Vex build that I kind of just threw together. I've referenced a lot of other builds and trying to figure out something that works. I used the bleed build before the patch. We all know it got nerfed. Doesn't do the infinite stacks anymore. It is what it is. My initial thought was switch to Bloodshot. Didn't really like it as much, but I wanted to still incorporate the bleed and the Bloodletter. So this is kind of a mix between Bloodletter and Bloodshot. And I think it works pretty well. It's kind of a lot of fun to mess with. It's good for mobbing. It's good for bossing. UVH5, it clears. Solo is super easy. The more players you add, the tougher it gets. Obviously, the health scales, everything else. But this is going to be built around COV magazines with the XXXL Finnity and the Aramid BOD. They both have COV magazines, which are kind of a pain in the ass to work with. But once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. We are going to find ways to extend our magazines and the overheating, taking advantage of the overheat, all of that good stuff. But I think we finally found like a pretty decent little recipe here. So I'm going to start off with the skill tree. We are all 49 points into the green skill tree here. Starting with grave sites, Bloodletter, both maxed. 5 out of 5 in material components. Grave power is maxed. Drink full. Phase pocket, this one's important, phase pocket. Mortal Terror, you're going to be using Witchy Trigger Finger here, and Vibe Check. I have 2 out of 5 on this through my class mod. I mean, you know, it does help to have extra health capacity, but it's in stacks that only last for so long, so I decided to skip that for now. We have 10 out of 5 on Bloodshot. We have a 5 out of 5 on our class mod. So the bonus damage is 100% there. Arsacana, this one's maxed. Essence Leech and Blood is Power, right? So this is the skill tree that we're going through. The way I was kind of looking at it is, you know, you have to start somewhere up top. Grave sites, increase critical hit damage, important. Bloodletter, part of the build, it's what we want, right? Material components, this gets increased kinetic damage and kinetic status effect damage. Pretty necessary for Bloodletter. Grave Power, kill skill, max stacks plus 3. So instead of 3 stacks here, you get 6, you know. It just increases every kill skill you have. Drink full, stun damage, you know, increases fire rate. Phase pocket is important because it increases the magazine size. Important for COV. Mortal Terror, chance to activate kill skills when critically hitting enemies. Also very important. That's going to be a big one. Bloodshot, the whole build is based off Bloodshot and using the sniper rifle and all that good jazz. This is increased skill damage. Lifesteal, which is important because our build is going to be based, the damage is somewhat based off of the amount of life that you have. So the more health, the better, the more damage you're going to do. Bonus connect damage with guns based on her current lifesteal when her health is full. Necessary. Okay. So now we are going to go through the weapons and the gear here. I do have a wombo combo and this spread launcher. That was just for science. These are not important. I'm only using 2 weapons on this build. The Finnity XXL. It shoots insanely fast. You can find this at Battle Wagon. And we're using the BOD with a COV magazine. This whole build is entirely built around COV. So that we can just spray. We have the triple bypass with Enrage on it. Grants an increase to all damage dealt by 30%. More damage, baby. Grenade. There's no good answer for grenade. I'm just using it for the firmware right now. Undead Eye. Plus 5 to Bloodshot. This one has 45% sniper rifle damage. Also helpful. Timekeeper's new shield. This is important because we want as much health as possible in this build. And this is probably the most important part right here, right? I got super lucky in finding this. You want an enhancement for COV that has duct tape on it. You have a 100% chance to deal critical damage while overheating. Overheating is the important part. Sniper rifle critical damage increased by 75%. Sniper rifle magazine size increased by 75%. That's huge. The BOD is also classified as a sniper because it's an all-arounder. That's what makes this important. I feel like I keep saying important. That's what makes this significant. But yeah, those are going to be the whole setup there. You are going to need as much sniper rifle SDU as possible for this, okay? You are going to fly through ammo on the Finnity, using the Finnity. It's just necessary to have as much sniper SDU as possible. The firmware is also very, very important here. I keep saying important. Deadeye, you want 3 out of 3. It gives you critical hit grant. Every critical hit grants 15% critical damage per stack. So that is 75% extra damage once you get 5 stacks. Heating up is going to be super important. You want 2 out of 3, right? 2 out of 3. Amount of overheated shots before breaking is increased by 50% with COV licensed gun parts. You get 50% extra at the end of your magazine for this. You don't need 3 out of 3 because the gun damage is increased by 25% while overheating is not going to be as valuable as getting your extra 75% critical damage once you max out the stats or the stacks on Deadeye. So that's where we're at with that. Specialization points is next. We are rocking the best defense, riddle you this, in the zone, and now with caffeine. Focusing your main specialization points on survivor for increased health, brute for extra damage, and killer for extra critical hit damage and status effect damage, which falls into bleed, right? You have to do these other points to get to now with caffeine, which is kind of unfortunate, but you cannot run this without now with caffeine. I've tried, it just doesn't work. You have to have it. You have to have it. With the triple bypass, it's going to make farming miserable if you can't just rock this. Let me just show this real quick. We have this already set up. With in the zone, aiming down sights gives you 5 stacks of 5% damage for gun damage and critical hit damage. So that is an extra 25% for both of those. When you aim down sights, you will see that little number going up to 5, right? And then it just stays going. So you're going to want to aim down sights on this build as much as possible. It's not the end of the world, but it does help. So we're going to pop our skill, use the rep kit, come out here, aim down sights, and then he will bleed the rest of the way. I did not overheat, didn't have to do anything crazy. Right now, if we just go in and you pay attention to the COV bar, oh my gosh, I didn't buy it. So as I was saying, if you use your action skill, go in, you have to pay attention to your COV ammo, right? So the bar's gonna fill up. Let's just say it fills up. We have 83 shots fired. We can probably get to around 100 before it overheats like that. If your gun gets close to 100 bullets, roughly like, I'd look for like 70, 80, because the gun shoots so fast. You can use your action skill to throw one of the Eldritch Orbs, and it will reset your cooldown. Now the problem is, we'll get him up there. Now we'll throw this. You cannot aim down sights and throw it, but it did reset my cooldown. The downside is, I'm not hitting criticals anymore until we're in that overheat side. You have to be overheating to get the critical hits. Atling gun. So because we're using this enhancement with duct tape, it has to be overheating. That it has to be. So you have to live your life trying to stay in this overheat period. Another big tip I could give, just from toying with it, trying to get better, not overusing my cooldowns either, or my skill to bring down the heat, you know, on the gun. Shoot in bursts here and there. It's easier to manage. Bursts, burst, burst. You will find that happy place of being in the overheat section. But this is on UVH5, and it does pretty well. It's the first build I've ever tried to like look into myself and make. Of course I did base my decisions off of what other people have done. Tried to switch it up a little bit. But to an extent, like there's certain skills you have to use. I'll go for it one more time. I'm gonna use our action skill, use the rep kit, aim down sights. And he gets cooked. Simple as that. Yeah, I think that just about covers the whole scenario here. So yeah, just let me know what you think. If there's anything we should tweak, comments, you know, suggestions, I'm all ears. Because we kind of just threw this together, like as a community, and we all talked it over. And I was trying to go through and find what worked. And I'm actually enjoying it now, so I keep forgetting to buy it. Let me know what you guys think. Much love, as always. This is my first build. Bear with me. Love you long time. Bang, bang.